From Alphacharts with a state of the market video. Today is February 8th, 2025. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, thank you all for watching the video. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It costs you nothing to do that, and it really does help me, with the algorithm and gets me in front of more people. So I do appreciate that if you could do that right now. You can also find me on X at Alphacharts365. I'm posting things all week long there. I'm almost always market related. All for free there. I do offer a subscription group. It's $10 a month, so it's super cheap and affordable to everybody. And what do you get there? I mean, really the best value out there if you're looking for just, another voice, another something to help you along your way. I give you on the weekends in-depth market report video and a extended watch list, right? So that's idea generation, right? Because I may not look at something, it's still in the right areas of the market, in the right groups, and you might like it. So again, idea generation, very, very important. I do break it down to my favorites, and so I do a separate focus list video. Usually it's only about anywhere from 4 to 6 names, because I think that's what a focus list should be, and it goes into weekly and daily looks at the charts, as well as, where I think we can manage risk best and things of that nature. I do a midweek video on Tuesday and Thursday, and I do a week mid and I do market notes actually Sunday and Thursday. So I'm again keeping you involved in the market all week long. I do annotated charts, especially off of my focus list. I do market scans every night. I do daily posts for subscribers. We even do once a month. We're doing live streams with subscribers, right? So it's a very interactive. Like you ask questions, chart requests, all that kind of stuff, and we do it live right there. I don't tell you where to buy or sell. That's always your choice. It's your money. But if you think for $10 a month, I mean, it's an amazing deal. Click that subscribe button right there, and it's month to month. There's no contracts. Like you have nothing except for $10 to lose, right? Which is and you have everything to gain. So give it a try. Give it a try. If you're not an X subscriber on YouTube, you would click the join button here, and all that video content is shared with the YouTube folks. And you see all the midweek updates and the focus list and the weekend video, each one separate. And the weekend video for members, midweek videos, all that kind of stuff. It's all shared with the YouTube folks. If you don't are not on X, you would click that join button right there, and you get all the same material. All right, so check it out. I think that you'll really enjoy it. Again, month to month, so you have nothing really to lose at all. All right, let's get into this video. SPY. Um, we have a beautiful looking base that's forming, but we have lower highs and lower lows right over here. And we have some distribution showing up too, some pretty good distribution. So, I'm still in a cautious mode. I mean, until we can really sort of make a higher high and break this trend, this shorter term trend right here, but we are above the 50-day, which I so appreciate, and we're above the VWAP from the election. So those are positives, right? So we have mixed signals. And with mixed signals, I think caution makes sense. I am optimistic this will go higher, but I'm also not going to put my money aggressively in that position until that happens. All right, looking at RSP. Oh, let's look at the weekly. I always like to look at the weekly, how it did. So it was negative 0.17. So flat-ish on the week. And you see that, we had big gap downs 2 Mondays here and here. Then we kind of bought it up, and Friday was a bad day, or worst day, kind of made them negative two weeks in a row, right? You know, so we'll see what this Monday brings. We get that gap down, and then we get a similar pattern or not. RSP was down 0.56, so again a little bit worse than S&P 500. Did close below the 50-day, it's barely right at the 50-day, really, and right just below the VWAP. Very close though. So again, not a good look. Yeah, very indecisive look. That's really the answer. Indecisive. Qs. They were up 0.13, so basically break even as well, but still, positive on the week. And you can see how this trend line is becoming important with multiple touches now on it. Above the 50-day, above the VWAP from the election. So that's all positives. And again, positive by 0.13. And the equal weighted Qs were positive by 0.83. So that's nice. That's nice to see. And they're actually closer to all-time highs than you would expect on the equal weighted Qs, well above the 50-day right now. And so again, has not made that higher high yet, right? It's close to it though. So we'll see if that could make it or not, but it's kind of right there. So the setup, I mean, is there. There's something equal weights, right? But again, we don't know if that's going to actually break out or not. And until it does, I don't want to front run it too much because we just don't know. Get rid of this line because I don't think that line matters anymore. All right, mid caps. Again, trend line, multiple touches, so it's important, obviously. Um, and it was down, mid caps were down 0.93 on the week and below the 50-day again. So, yeah, you see the mixed signals in this market. IWM well below the 50 and the VWAP really the weakest of the bunch and down 2/10 I'm sorry 20 basis points, um but still looking weak below declining 50 days below the VWAP. So again, a lot of mixed signals out there, and when market's cautious, I just can't be too aggressive. Let's see what the key sectors, let's see what they have to say. All right, so we had um, financials breaking out to all-time highs. That's always nice. It did give a little bit of it back, but stayed above, I think, a key level and above all moving averages. So financials, that's a check mark in, positive, right? In the bullish camp. Because if financials are doing good, you got to be a little bit bullish. So let's check the other ones, though. All right, looking at semiconductors. Well, semiconductors haven't done anything and been a total mess now. I mean, for a long time. They peaked over here back in, really in June, July-ish area. This is where they peaked. So it's been 6 months of a whole lot of nothing, right? And really aggravation is what that is. Um, right now the 50-day and the 200-day are literally about 1.25% away from each other. And they're getting really, really close. Look how tight all these moving averages are. It's pretty impressive, actually, how tight they are. And now this one bar spans because of volatility, both of them. That's kind of interesting, right? The direction that this breaks in is going to be very, very, very significant. Like really, like we're gonna have a big move coming, whichever way this breaks. So I'm watching this one closely. Again, very choppy though. And on the week they were up 0.62, up 0.62, equal weights. We're down 2.67. So you see mega caps carried the other ones. I don't know if it was Nvidia did well or Broadcom did well, but whatever it was last week that did well, it really carried it because equal weights really, I mean, they were starting to look better up here. Look at this back in, beginning in middle of January and then just really fell apart back below the 50. And again, very choppy mess on. So semiconductor world not looking good, right? For as a key sector, we have XLF looking good. Semiconductors, a lot of questions. IYT. So really good day yesterday, but when you look at IYT, and this is a nice thing, a deep view, you can just click a button and find out weightings, right? It's 17% Uber. And Uber had absolutely amazing day. I think Bill Ackman took a position and announced it, and it just popped. So this is at 17% weighting. IYT got a big, big move higher. So we're going to look at the equal weights. By the way, on the weekly, it was up 1.31%. But when we look at the equal weights, they were down 1.59%. And you can see the move does not look the same. So that was definitely I think we have to look more at the equal weights to get a better feel of what's going on. And we have a market that's below the 50-day and is declining again, high, low. We don't have a lower low yet, but below declining 50-day. So again, we have mixing the longer term, still a 200-day going higher and a 50-day going lower. So again, that's a lot of mixed signals showing up there in transport land. So semi's not looking great. XLF is. Transports, I would say, not looking great. And housing. Now, housing looks really bad, in my opinion. It has for a while. If you watch my videos, you know that we've been all over this housing move lower. I think, I think this could be uh, forecasting something, in the next 3 to 6 months, maybe, if these are good economic indicators, really. And so we'll see. Again, I don't trade off of that, but when semis aren't doing good and transports aren't doing good and housing isn't doing good and we have financials that are holding up, that's an economy that needs to turn it around a little bit. It's a slowing economy, if nothing else. And eventually, and why is that important? Because eventually the market's going to price that in, right? Or if it's not already, because we've had kind of a choppy market, right? Maybe it's trying to come to terms with some of this stuff now and seeing what's going to happen. Now, as far as this housing chart goes, we have a very significant hundred, this 100 area. So maybe it holds there and it's just a sideways consolidation and we shoot up. Interest rates fall, shoot up, and I think that'd be very constructive for the market overall. Again, this is a market indicator, how we're using it, as well as, we can trade housing stocks too. But if this completes a topping pattern, which again, it could, or it could kind of just hang out here sideways for a while with a flat 200 day, um, you know, that could be a further choppy market. All right, XHB looks basically exactly the same, so not much to go on there. So as far as these goes, it's there's definitely some concern out there, some choppiness going on. We like to see things reverse. You would like to see SMH break out, right? We like to see, XTN get back above the 50-day, make a higher high from here, right? That's what we want to see. If this makes a lower high, that's a bigger problem. So again, a lot of questions out there. And then let's go over the mags. So this is the mag 7. Again, it's weighted. So let's just show you the weighting here. So you see Meta is the heaviest in here and Tesla is the least heavy in here. Most things are in that 5%, 5 to 6% range though. Okay. So let's go back and here we go. So we had this beautiful kind of base breakout, retest, move higher, and then another consolidation. Price is now below the 50-day. And, here's my trend line and prices starting to break down. Hasn't made a lower low yet compared to this right here or even this one right here. So that's okay. That's okay. And we're kind of right at that trend line. So, if I could go here, right, then it's not hasn't broken down yet. So again, I'm not so worried about a smidge lower than the trend line because I could just adjust my trend line a little bit, right? And make it kind of say it's at the bottom of it. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, right? I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to say it's at the bottom of the trend line, but below the 50-day and below all the other moving averages. But if it breaks down, I think that we could get, maybe a 10% move lower here, right? That's about 10%. Roughly, okay, 7%. So 7.5% move lower. Like, okay, well, what does the market look like if the Mag 7 drops 7.5%? My guess would be the market's going to drop a similar amount. So if that's the case, again, I'm kind of doing this, you know, 7.5% would probably bring it to the 200-day moving average. Again, I'm not saying it's gonna be tick for tick, but that would be a potential move. So I wouldn't be surprised if at least we get to the bottom of the range, or we even can break lower and make some sort of double bottom with an undercut near the 200-day moving average, which will be maybe a little bit higher the next few days or whatever it is. And that's a scenario that I think we should watch out for. All right. It's just one scenario. Another scenario this breaks out. But because of the choppiness that we're seeing in some of these other markets, especially, some of the equal weighted ones like the mid caps and the small caps and RSP, in these sectors, yeah, I mean a little dip, and that would be totally within market um price action, right? Like that would be totally within like something like this, right? Totally within it. Like how much different would that look than this and this, right? That'd be very similar. Going back to let's go to the weekly chart to make it look a little bit make it look a little bit better. You know, something like this. That's 2015, 2016, right? But maybe on a smaller version, obviously. But something like this, right? You had this kind of double bottom look to it, came back, couldn't make a new high, and rolled back over, right? So we may be in a situation like that. If you look at here, you know, that's kind of what it looks like. Again, just maybe on a smaller scale, okay? Fractal. All right, well, that's what I got for you. Hopefully, this video was helpful. Some potential scenarios to look for that to tell us whether we are, you know, the M and can slim, the market, you know, whether we are back in a healthy market. Obviously, we would be breaking out the new highs, or if we're going to roll over, which I think has a slightly greater chance right now. If I was putting odds on it, I think you know, at least a move to the bottom of this channel, maybe an undercut of this low, you know, or maybe not, right? But I think we maybe roll over. That's I put the odds a little bit greater on that side. So I'm staying cautious and that's what I'm doing. If you think this analysis can help you, you know, check out my subscriber group. Click that subscribe. I put a ton of content for only $10 a month. Everyone can afford it. It was like $33, 33 cents a day, right? So it's super, super cheap, less than a Chipotle bowl, right? So check it out again on YouTube at the join button. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.